Lupe's a rapper's rapper. Royce is a rapper's rapper.
𝐿𝐷𝗀 is a rapper's
rapper. You know, like they're doing things that like rappers can't do. You know what I mean? Wayne, I don't know.
I think there's a section.
I'll argue that one.
Hey man, let's talk Louisiana in 3 Stacks. Wayne was disappointed in. You remember when Andre 3000? You know, he had that incredible interview at the laundromat, I believe it was for GQ. He talked about he didn't know what he could rap about at 48. There's nothing else to talk about, or he didn't want to talk about it. I think he used like colonoscopy. Remember y'all? Yeah, because I think I was out that week.
You think?
But I don't know. I couldn't even remember really.
Big with declaratives.
I was in a different vibe. I'll just say that. But Wayne said he was disappointed when he heard that, and he says that he has plenty of stuff to talk about at 41. I believe Wayne.
What is Wayne talking about though?
And he also said but he also said that. Because, Dre alluded to the type of music that's out. And, he said this before. He said it with Rick Rubin, outdated. Like he feels like he's the dinosaur or whatever. And Wayne says he blocks out everything because of that. So he just makes what he wants to make and ignores everything else. But what jumped out to me about Wayne is what Lone says. What are you actually talking about?
You're not on the same content level that Andre is. We're not making that comparison.
No, we can't do that.
Not on this show.
Depends on who you're talking to.
Not on this show.
He's never been on the same content.
No,
not content wise.
No, not about what he talks
Wayne
about.
Nice though, but
Wayne's a different type of rapper. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Lil Wayne and expect to hear some deep introspective thing about Kanye's mom. You know what I mean? Or
so it's easier for him. It's easier for him to pull from something at an older age because it's not as deep or
it's not as personal.
Not as personal. Okay.
Unless it's like substituted in some type of metaphor that simile that you can't. Andre is very much an artist, and he's literally bearing himself when he's out here talking about this stuff. I think it's different.
Andre is to Wayne's point. Wayne is still involved and on the scene and a lot of this stuff. Andre is removed
completely.
You know what I'm saying?
To the point to where people don't even notice him.
Exactly. So this kind of goes back to the whole artist thing. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have surges in their artistry, and then they go dormant for a long time. Then they have a resurgence. They have a period of time where they're doing the greatest thing ever again, and then they fall off. I mean, that's kind of what artists do.
That's
what I'm saying? Over time, that's what artists do. Wayne is heavily involved with everything. I mean, he's on First Take, or what is it? With
Undisputed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What, once or twice a week?
Skip
has the intro song and is on there on Fridays, I believe.
He's out here. He's doing interviews. He's being seen. He's not the same kind of artist. You know what I'm saying? When I think of an artist, I'm even thinking about like back in the day, like people that would go through periods of times like drawing artists, where they did this whole series of this is what it looks like, and then they stopped, and then they reemerged and do something totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Wayne's kind of done the same thing his entire career.
Kind of, but he's never went away. He's always been there. That's the part. You know what I'm saying? So like, he's not. He talks about how he doesn't listen or pay attention to anything. He's still soaking it up as a sponge, regardless if he's listening to it or not. By default, because he's still around. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So even if he's not checking for whoever's latest music and stuff like that, and he says he just goes and does his own thing, he's still a sponge out here, essentially. Yeah, soaking it up.
I mean, it's hard. To your point, it's hard to avoid that when you're still leading the Colorado Buffaloes out. Like he's everywhere. Like Wayne is everywhere.
I mean, Dre's been walking around cities, wherever he's at, playing his flute for years now. Nobody ever thought he was about to make an album out of the flute, but I mean, this is his headspace. This is what he feels like doing. Yeah. So you can't be mad at him for saying that I don't have any raps right now. Yeah. Because that's just not where he's at.
The fan in me got a little upset, just a tad.
I mean, of course.
I'm just talking about one particular part. I love that he's being an artist and embracing who he is and likes walking around. I'm not tripping off that. Dre don't owe me nothing. But I did get mad a little bit when he said they still sending me beats. Because in my mind, I'm like, he might have something. He said people think he's sitting on raps. I'm that person. I'm naive. I'm like, man, I know he got, he got something he's sitting on.
I don't know. To me, he just seems like the person that's super dope that when something strikes him, he can just sit down and he can write it.
And it's going to be dope.
And that's just what it is. Like, I don't think he's sitting on anything. I really don't.
He's got to be influenced. He has to be inspired.
Yeah.
Like he did the dope stuff on Killer Mike's album.
Man.
He did the dope stuff on Kanye's album.
True.
But these are all inspirational pieces. So he has an outline that somebody's giving him, okay, this is what the song's going to be about. Okay, I can put myself in that moment.
For sure.
Plug and play.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not like, hey, let's make this record about rap snacks.
Exactly.
And just rap and rhyme words. Like he's never really been that. He's done it kind of a little bit, but he's never really been that artist. And I don't think Wayne has ever. Don't get me wrong. I'm not even trying to trash on Wayne. Wayne is just not that type of artist. He's not that type of lyricist. He's like.
Wayne is still a product.
He's still kind of like he's a simile rapper. Mm-hmm. Like he drops similes.
Wayne is kind of a rapper's rapper. Somebody can always rap.
I think MCs really. I think a lot of MCs, to Terry's point, look at him as a rapper's rapper. Just lyrically,
he can get on like that song he got now with Benny the Butcher.
Yeah,
he goes off on that track.
Yeah,
I ain't even like that song, but he did go off.
Mm-hmm.
He went off. I don't know, Lone. I think a lot of people look at Wayne as, if you hear elite MCs talk, you always hear people say, man, that boy Lil Wayne.
It depends on
Wayne
what
is
they're
a monster.
about.
See, this is the thing too, because
I don't really agree.
You have to differentiate the different types of rappers.
Right.
True.
So Wayne is able to do it at a professional level at any given time. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean he's the lyricist's favorite. He's just somebody that can rap when he needs to rap.
He can come in and he can snap. He can do do all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, and he's been coming out and he's been dropping a lot of dope verses on a lot of guest features.
Agreed.
He has, but there's levels to it. You know what I mean? And as a rapper, like, I don't know.
You can say the same thing about J. Cole. J. Cole is a rapper's rapper.
I think J. Cole's way more rapper's rapper than Wayne is.
In our opinion.
Yeah. And me as a rapper. Me as a rapper, when I think of like people that I'm like, that are super dope at stuff that I've done for a very long time, like Wayne's like,
I'm not mad at that.
A lot of his stuff's kind of corny.
But a lot of people look up to Wayne.
I'm not mad at that.
Or revere Wayne the same way we do J. Cole. And they don't even like J. Cole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that is a huge amount of people.
I guess
that's a huge amount of people.
I guess all I'm saying is they can be wrong, because like that, to me, they're different. Like they're different types of MCs.
That's what I'm saying.
And like J. Cole is very much in the realm of he's more so in the realm of an Andre than he is in a Wayne, but there is crossover there, and especially on their features.
Glad you said that.
Again, this is not the bash Wayne.
No,
that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying, like, there's a distinct difference in Wayne, and Wayne has got a lot of throwaways to me, and a lot of stuff that I've heard that
his last project was a throwaway to me.
Yeah, but I mean,
actually, the one with him and 2 Chainz ain't bad.
Really, I've never hated Wayne, but he's never been like. He's never somebody, even specifically as an MC, that I look up like, man, he's a rapper's rapper. Like he's far from it to me. Like he's not somebody I look at and I'm like, man, I wish I could do what he did. Like he's not that. Andre has stuff like that. Cole has stuff. Kendrick has stuff like that. Kendrick less than Cole, in my opinion, because Kendrick is more the whole artist aspect of everything. But
he's more cut from that cloth.
Dre does stuff that nobody does, though.
Oh, I can't argue with you there.
So I mean,
but I just think like we talk about the hiatus stuff. Kendrick will go away.
Yeah, but he's more of an artist than an MC to me. Like, I mean, he's a good MC.
I would agree.
But like to me, his strength isn't like just like
just lyrical
MC,
potency.
Like he's not going to give you that. I think Cole's going to give you more of that.
Yeah,
but I think there's crossover in what Cole and Kendrick do a little bit as well.
Prime example, I think with lyrically, the way Cole approaches records. I get it. Kendrick's discography, I'm going to pick 10 times out of 10.
Absolutely.
Every single time.
Yeah.
He makes great records.
It's like Royce used to be like that too. Royce will get you on a record, but then he developed into a really great songwriter.
True.
And a really great, all those things.
I mean,
Lupe's a rapper's rapper. Royce is a rapper's rapper.
𝐿𝐲 is
a rapper's rapper. Like they're doing things that like rappers can't do. You know what I mean? Wayne, I don't know.
I think there's a section.
I'll argue that one.
I think there's a section of people that would say Wayne. No,
I'm sure there's a section of people, and
I'm with Terry on that.
I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people.
I don't think
that
there's a wrong
rap.
answer. Well, that's the thing about it is I don't think there's a wrong answer because everybody's into different pockets of things. Like I'm not going to sit here and tell you that me personally think Wayne is like my rapper, but like somebody that holds a lot of people's attention and a lot of people looked up to and are rapping right now, Wayne is their GOAT. I
am not disagreeing with that at all. I'm just saying that their standards are too low.
Yeah.
That's it. And you know, like if from a rapper standpoint, because Wayne has an immense amount of children out here.
Oh my God.
That also rap that have no type of depth to them at all. Wayne doesn't have depth in his raps.
Nah.
He's super dope, but he doesn't really have a lot of depth in there.
Jump in there, Jay.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
No, I mean, and I've said this before. There's a difference between being an artist and being a product, and there are a lot of people who are products who think they're artists. Sometimes, you know, you are a product that is an artist. But the thing is, like Lil Wayne, I get it. Because he's still somebody. I don't think he has to rap to eat.
No,
but he's in a position to where this is still something to where he feels like, okay, I still have an expectation that I have to fulfill.
I like that.
Dre does not have that
for sure.
That's the point. And you know, there are only a few artists that like at this point, Jay-Z does not have that. You know, if he never puts out another, like, you know, now there's this whole rumor that he might be putting out another album because of you know, with the whole thing with the Brooklyn Library or whatever, you know,
would be a great time to do it.
He basically, the commemorative thing was like, okay, there's a library card for every album that he's ever put out, and then there's a blank space. So like that's got people kind of like, oh, what's coming next? But Jay doesn't rap to eat. Jay raps to say the things that he wants to say at this point. He's not thinking about, okay, I got to do this for West Coast sales. I got to do this for the strip club. I got to do this for, contemporary hits radio. That's not a part of his process. Yeah. You know,
must feel good to be.
I don't even think Jay's a rapper.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't think so.
But
that's almost blasphemous.
But what I'm saying,
even he said it on a record.
Yeah,
he might have said it.
But even with when we talk about not having anything to say, it's kind of, you know, honestly, look, Dre, if you rapped about getting a colonoscopy, do you know how incredible that would be and how impactful it would be? Not that you have that rap in your repertoire right now, but when you say you don't have it, when you make that should be what you're rapping about. You know, you should be rapping about your life experience. You could rap about playing the flute in laundromats, and we'd listen to that. It'd probably be flyer than 95% of what we got going on out here.
I'm gonna listen.
You know, I think it's in his own way. I don't want him to encourage people to say that there's a cap or something where, you know, at a certain point in your life, you can't rap about the streets, going to the strip club, driving cars and meeting stripper and messing with women that you will never love, like that. You don't have anything to rap about anymore. Like, that's what I love about Phonte is like, cause we're roughly the same age. And the fact is, the entire time I've been a fan of his, he's rapped about where basically I was as a man.
Yep.
You know, the things that I've thought about. And because like he's not he doesn't live in a world of fantasy like a lot of rappers live in, like Lil Wayne lives in. Essentially, he's living a fantasy. Like, that's why I can relate. You know, when he said on Charity Starts at Home, talking about how, like, you know, why did you fire me when, you know, you knew this project was going to be defunded? I've been in that place.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that we can't, that's why I'm, you know, for the up and downs and where we've had to say about Nas's last 6 projects, and which majority of which we have liked. And I think that's despite what people have said about our criticisms of said albums. It's like, I like that there's a guy who's 50 years old that still has things, but he's not rhyming about the block. He's rhyming about brunch on Sundays. He's rhyming about his investments. He's rhyming about his daughter being grown. That's what you're supposed to rap about when you're at this place in your life.
Right.
Yeah. So I understand maybe that itch, whatever that thing that drives Andre to rhyme isn't there, but to say that you don't have anything to rap about, trust me, whatever you're going through in life, going to see your kid play college football, rap about that. Like I said, going to the doctor, making, having to deal with the fact we're losing our parents and we're becoming the elders in our families. Like those are things that if you rapped about, you'd realize there are a lot more people that can relate to that than the people who are rapping about standing on top of couches at nightclubs, because that's not, like I said, that's the fantasy of being black in America. The things that, you talked about why would anybody want to hear that? Like, that's the real stuff.
I think a lot of it has to do beyond that surface level, or beyond just like not having anything to talk about. I think a lot of it also has to come from a place of not wanting to add your own voice to something on top of it. And it's kind of what I spoke on a couple weeks ago about not wanting to add noise. I think that's also a major part of it too. I could be wrong, but
not wanting to add noise,
it's not just about not having anything to write about. It's also about not necessarily wanting to add your perspective on top of it, or feeling like your perspective is super valuable. It probably would be valuable coming from him, but he probably just doesn't want to add, probably doesn't feel the desire to add his additional voice on top of everything else that's going on right now. And there's just a lot of noise in general. So if he's already an exclusion, somebody that excludes himself from a lot of things and gets out of the way, then I can see that. You know what I mean? Like, I think you guys are making points. Like, there's always stuff to rap about, but for him specifically, like, I don't know, maybe he just doesn't. If it's not there, it's not there.
Yeah, it's almost selfish of us.
Yeah,
I mean, it is, honestly.
It is. Because
we want him to rap. Yeah. And Wayne wants him to rap too. That's why he's saying that.
For sure.
Because he's a fan.
He's a fan of him.
Yeah.
But I mean, what Andre is saying is what's on his heart. He don't feel like doing it right now.
And I respect it. As a creative, I respect it.
And I don't buy into or even accept the argument that he's like lying.
Oh, that he's lying about what he's saying.
Like,
I don't buy that.
People are like, oh, you're just nah. I don't buy into that at all. It's like, why would he lie?
Yeah. Comes off completely authentic to me.
Because he could rap.
Yeah, circles around everybody.
He doesn't have to put out a flute album.
Nope.
No, it's.
That's what he wanted to do. That was what was on his heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no, I don't buy
I actually think it's dope.
Kind of offensive, actually.
I actually think that it's dope that, now correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the chat, but he said he wants to tour with this. Didn't he mention that, or am I tripping?
I didn't see that part. I didn't watch the interview, though. So.
Okay, maybe I'm tripping. I thought he said he might pop out. I bet that's sold out.
No, to me, the album sounded like.
Who's going to go to a meditation concert, man? I don't know.
Be surprised, Long.
I know people are going to go to it. I'm saying who's going to really want to go to it outside of the fact. If it was John who lives around the corner making the flute album, nobody's going to it. They're only going because Andre. And number one, Andre doesn't want to tour anyways.
And it sounded like it was improv anyway, so I don't think he's going to be able to redo this album.
I mean, have you... do you remember him talking about like all the stuff of like the Outcast and him not wanting to go on stage and not wanting to tour? Like, you think he's going to tour a flute album?
No.
All I remember hearing is him saying that he might pop out.
He's not.
You don't even know. You just heard it from people again.
No, this ain't people.
He's not popping out.
I don't think this is people, but I could be wrong.
That's why I had to go to the last Outcast concert, because I was like,
I ain't never see him again.
He's not doing this again.
He'll do a pop-up shop show at the Melody Inn or something.
Man.
Hey, that's actually on brand for him. And it'll be like 25 people in there, and then he'll just dip out and go home.
Yeah.
I can see that.
As soon as people start posting it on Instagram.
Ruin everything. Yeah. Bone to pick with you, man. Let's go back real quick. Just real quick. And I
know there's a lot of people that would say that Jay-Z is a rapper.
Man.
And I'm not even gonna argue with it. I'm not even gonna argue with it because I can see that, yes, it would be, but